Next, we will welcome Mrs. Teresa Wu Pa, Chairperson of Action Chinese Canadians Together.
Good morning, everyone. Minister McIver, MP McLean, Councillor Wong, community and MLA, and community leaders, friends and all. It's my great pleasure to join you here today as the chair of the ACT Foundation. And also as the chair of the Canadian Race Relations Foundation, which is a Canadian Crown corporation with a mandate to help to eliminate racism in Canada. So first, I would like to applaud all the people involved in organizing this commemoration of the Chinese railroad workers, Canada's nation builders, pioneers, and our forefathers. It is also important to commemorate the generosity of Indigenous peoples extended to the Chinese commemorate these workers, as it was Indigenous peoples who took in the injured Chinese workers who were left to die and nursed them back to health. So we owe our gratitude to many Indigenous peoples on this land. Thousands of Chinese workers, including the hundreds who gave their lives by learning and recognizing the enduring multifaceted relationship between Indigenous peoples of Canada and Chinese Canadians. As we commemorate these historical figures, I was reminded of a famous quote by Confucius, which says, "Study the past if you would define the future." Confucius says, if one wants to teach, they must learn. If one wants to define the future, they must study the past. The 2020 Angus Reid Institute survey of over 500 Canadian of Chinese descent provided a glimpse of the current reality of many Chinese Canadians, with findings that include 50% reported being called names or insulted. A plurality of 43% further say they've been threatened or intimidated. One-third of the people surveyed report being frequently exposed to racist graffitis, including 44 here in Calgary Chinatown, counted by Mr. Sidney Wu, and also messagings on social media since the pandemic began. 64% reported feeling coverage from North American news outlets have led to negative views of people of Chinese ethnicity in Canada. And only 13%, and just 13% believe others in this country view them as fully Canadian all the time, 13%. And 85% of the people surveyed, they share the value of Canada. They believe in Canada and they want to be full Canadian. But only 13% felt that they always are made to feel as fully Canadian all the time. These numbers not only reflect the current state, but many believe as what will be part of our experience in the years to come in Canada. So use this day of commemoration as the start to deepen our understanding of our past. Look at how Chinese Canadians were described in the Royal Commission report leading to the Chinese Exclusion Act, which would mark its 100th anniversary next year. The rationales used to force the relocation of Calgary's Chinatowns in attempts to curtail Chinese Canadians from access to real estate in current Chinatowns by figures like Mr. James Short. Why is it that people can continue to feel so emboldened to publicly call us the Yellow Peril after I was elected as a school board trustee? People took time to write me a letter to call me the Yellow Peril. Why they said that it's okay for us to be called Yellow Peril in 2003 during the SARS pandemic, and again in 2020, 200 years since the conception of this term. So understand how these perceptions are perpetuated by our systems, in our education system, our governments, justice, and media, and why we must all work together diligently, drawing from the strength, determination, and perseverance of our forefathers, like the railroad workers, to address systemic racism in Canada today and in the future. Thank you.